But all right, so we talked about your collegiate time. You can touch on it, but I want you to talk about it. Those two state runs, and
Oh,
just yeah, I mean, that is impressive. We made one, but to go there twice, go ahead and share some of that.
all right. So like, man, my junior year, that was the first time we made it. Um, Sam Houston, man, Sam Houston back in the day was like a powerhouse. They had
Mhm.
dudes. They had like dudes, man. I think the team that was in our district, Sam Houston, at that time, I think, what, one, two, when I was shoot before my junior year, they had a bunch of guys. I mean, Jeremy McNeil that played at Syracuse that won chip, that won the
Mhm.
Natty with Carmelo. He
Yeah.
was there, and I remember as a sophomore, he was a senior, and I was a sophomore. He probably blocked my shot like 10 times. I like kept going at him, and he was just like blocking my shot every time. He
Yeah.
man, funny story is like he blocked my shot. Coach Bernal was like, "Hey, pull up." I pulled up at the free throw. He blocked my shot because they were pressing. So they would press. So
Mhm.
I would get the ball, and it's like 1-on-one against him. So
Mhm.
I challenged him, and he just blocked my shot and blocked my shot, and I pulled up. Boom! I pulled up for a jumper, and he still blocked me. So I was like, God, what can we do? So like that sophomore year, my sophomore year, I think we started a freshman, two sophomores, a junior, and a senior, right? And I came off the bench as a sophomore, right? So we got a ton of experience of just playing. We were just young, played. The guys I played with, the guards, man, we grew up together. So like since middle school, we were playing together. Since like sixth, seventh grade, we played together like ton of games before we even got to high school. So
Mhm.
that kind of built that chemistry with us on the floor. So that makes a really big difference. It's like when you're really cool with the dudes, like y'all, we would do everything together. Like if you see one of us, you see all of us were together. So I think that played a big part when we made that run. So like our junior year, uh, I think we lost. We nobody was expecting anything from us, and we started winning
Mhm.
some games, and we were catching people by surprise, right? Like oh, like they weren't
Yeah.
expecting it, so we'll pop them. We're
Mhm.
beating them, and getting them, and then we came to district, and same thing. Like we're beating people, and then we got to Sam, and man, Sam just killed us. My junior
Mhm.
year, killed us in district. First game killed us. Second game killed us. So I mean, we were second. We were second place. I think we
Mhm.
lost three games in district my junior year. We lost to uh, Ivan Johnson. We lost to his team when he was at Fox Tech at the time.
Yeah.
He played
They
in the
were a
league.
power
He
too.
played in the NBA. So
Mhm.
they were good too. Like they were a good team. Like there was good teams back then. Like SAISD was like the inner city
Oh.
schools. Man, like the inner city schools that's where it was at. Like the north side schools, like I mean, you had Jay, you had Taft, those powers, but inner city schools were tough. Like it was tough back in the day.
Mhm.
So we ended up losing to Sam the two games, right? So they got first place, we go second place, go in the playoffs. You know, we go to the playoffs. Um, in the semifinals and the regionals, we end up playing Austin LBJ, and um, at that time they were I think they were ranked like either one in the state or like two.
Mhm.
They were ranked high, like at least in the top five. I think
Wow.
if I'm not mistaken, I think they had like at that time I think they had like I think the point guard's name. Oh, what was his name? I think it was AJ. I can't remember AJ Guyan, I think, and he played at Florida Atlantic. He
Okay.
played at Florida Atlantic, and then they had Billy White,
Oh. At,
coaches down in Corpus now. He
yeah.
played at St. Mary's, so
Hmm.
they were really good. So we came out, we jumped on them. Hey, we were up by like we were up 20, I think. I think we were up 20 like at half or something. And then they
Mhm.
made a run and they cut it, and we ended up making a basket at the end to win, right? To win the game, and we ended up winning the regional. And then, so Sam, I think I can't remember who Sam beat. So we matched up with Sam in the regional championship my junior year to go to state. And man, when I tell you that game was sold out, it was at Paul Taylor.
Uh-huh.
Like I'll never forget it. Like we pulled up in the bus and see the line outside, and I remember one of my teammates was like, "Man, they haven't let nobody in the game yet."
Uh-huh.
And so we walk in, and it's like packed. Like the gym is like sold out. Like Paul Taylor, I haven't seen it like that. I've never seen it where it's like super, super sold out,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And then we ended up getting Sam. We beat them. I think we beat them by like double digits. I think we beat them by double digits again. Like they were expecting to beat us again. They beat us twice already in the year,
Yeah.
but it's hard to beat a team, I guess, three
Three
times.
teams. Yeah.
So we ended up getting them. I mean, we got we got to state in the final four, made it to the drum,
That's awesome,
and
man.
then we lost. We ended up playing Denton Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up beating us. Well, we didn't play great. It was our first time, eyes wide open. Everybody was kind of just.
Was
I
that
mean,
was that the Bosch team?
no, that was the
No.
next year.
The next year.
So
Okay.
so we ended up losing to Denton Ryan that year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we lost one starter from that team. So we had everyone coming back. We had
Mm-hmm.
guys off the bench. So we were ready. I mean, like we're ready to go. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make another run my senior year. Try to picture this. We're trying to make a run.
Mm-hmm.
The news got a hold of it, and like they made a big deal, right? You've never seen it's all Mexican team. The tallest guy is 6'3", 6'2". Like
Yeah.
they ran with it, so it was a big deal for them. For us, it was just, I mean, we were just hooping. We didn't know what we were. I mean, we didn't know the significance of it at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
just doing that was great. But like our second year was tough, man. Our second
You
year
weren't
was tough.
sneaking up on anybody then.
No, 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 no. Everybody knew, and everybody was coming. And
Mm-hmm.
and then our district, it was the realignment that year.
Yeah.
So our district realigned. So they ended up bringing like in our district was Alamo Heights. Roosevelt had dropped down, so Roosevelt came in our district too as well. So I think we had in our district, I think it was us, Lanier, Sam, Heights, Roosevelt, Fox Tech.
Mm-hmm.
We had five teams in like the top 20 in the state at that
Wow.
time.
Wow,
And
dude.
and I'm telling you that all of them, every team was good. Like
Mm-hmm.
every team was like it was good. So I mean, we went through the district again. Like we played. Man, my senior year, Coach Bernal, you know what? I give Coach Bernal a lot of credit as far as like that year.
Mm-hmm.
Our senior year, he did a good job of scheduling us games and tournaments to get us ready, right, to see what we're gonna see
Mm-hmm.
in district and in playoffs. What we're gonna see against Sam. What we're gonna see later on in the playoffs. Like we went my senior year. Usually we like my junior year we did like the Edgewood tournament, like
Mm-hmm.
Laredo. We did that. Like we dropped those. We still went to Laredo, but we dropped I think it was like we I think we did my junior year like the Kerrville tournament. So we dropped the Kerrville and we dropped the Edgewood. We ended up picking up the
Oh
Cornerstone
yeah.
tournament my senior year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like they brought some teams in at that
Yeah.
time. Like people don't know, like, but they brought some like teams. Like we ended up playing God, I can't remember the name of this damn school. Why can I remember it here? But anyways, on that
Mm-hmm.
team, it was Jared Jack. Jared Jack was the point guard.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't remember the high school he went to, but
He was
it was a
at
city.
Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so
Yeah.
Amari Stoudemire was there before too. I can't remember the name of the prep. Damn, why can't I remember this name? Dude, I can't. It's blowing
It's
my
all right,
mind right
man.
now. But
Somebody will fact check us.
yeah, no, no, no. So Jared, like, so man, we played them at Cornerstone, and I'm telling you, their starting lineup was 6'10", 6'9", 6'8". Jared Jack was 6'4" at point guard, and then they had like a 6'3" guy at the
Mm-hmm.
two. and against like they just see a bunch of little Mexicans, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
and they sit in a 2-3 zone, like they're just sitting in a zone, in a 2-3 zone. So it's a game. I mean, we're hooping,
Hmm.
They figure it out. Like, hey, they can go. I say, no, Mount Zion.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think T Mac went there too. That's where
Yeah.
T Mac
That's
went.
when they were first getting big. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where T Mac went. So, man, like
Mm.
they're good. Like they're like Jerry Jack. I remember I was matched up with Jerry Jack,
Uh-huh.
and I was a pretty good defender, and this dude had 34, like easy, like easy, like any way he wanted it, like he was getting it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, I would cut him off. He'd just give you that little shoulder and just stop. And
Mhm.
I mean, you can't do anything about it. But
Yeah.
I mean, games close. They get a dunk. We throw it in. We get a layup real quick. Like
Hmm.
we pull them out of the zone. I think we had a chance to win. I think we had a chance to win it, and we missed a shot at the buzzer to beat them.
Wow.
Like so, that was one of the tournaments. So that was one of the
Hmm.
teams that we saw that got us ready, that prepared us. Then we end up uh, we ended up getting invited to a tournament in Vegas. It was called, man. It was during Christmas. So at this time,
Hmm.
like this big old tournament was called like man, this is how old it was, like the Reebok Powerade Holiday Classic,
Oh,
like
Reebok Powerade. Yeah.
Reebok Powerade Holiday Prep Classic, right?
Hmm.
And they had four different divisions, right? They had the bronze, the silver, the gold, and then they had the platinum, right? And guess
Hmm.
which one they put us in?
Platinum.
In the platinum. In the platinum. Guess who
All
we?
right.
And it's a bracket, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like teams in this, like big time teams. Like if I
Hmm.
name you these teams, you'll be like, Matter Day was there,
Oh,
Oak Hill was there. Oak Hill
yeah.
ended up winning the tournament. Like we saw that game, the championship game.
Yeah.
We get matched up. Our first game, we get matched up with Bishop Gorman from Vegas, from Vegas. Like they're
Yeah.
big time. Like they were the defending state champs. I think they
They're
won.
still
They
they're
won.
still big time.
They won the state championship that year.
Mhm.
Um, we lost to them in overtime by two.
Gee whiz.
Like we
So
had
you
them.
legitimately had modern day in the Pacific Ocean, Oak Hill in the Atlantic Ocean, you know, and then you get
Like
paired up with Bishop Gorman at basically a home game for them.
pretty much it was a home game for them.
Yeah.
But like man, when I tell you like, so you see like you think about all these D1 coaches, like when you see them
Hmm.
like during the live period, all those D1 coaches were there.
Yeah.
Like all of them were there. Tubby Smith, I think he was in Kentucky at the time.
Hmm.
Keith Bogans was there. He was playing the game before us. I don't know what high school he was at, but he was there playing the game before us. So, like, I think if we would have won like two games,
Hmm.
like if we would have beat Bishop Gorman and we would have won the next game, we would have matched up with Oak Hill. We would have played
Wow.
Oak Hill. But
Wow.
Oak Hill was like at that year they had Dejan Diop that went straight to the league. He got drafted by the
Hmm.
Mavs.
Yeah.
Uh, Rashard Caruth, who played at Kentucky.
Yes. Yes.
I took man, I saw them play. We went to go watch that championship game, and it was Matter Day against Oak Hill. And when I tell you, it was a
Hmm.
game. Like it was a game. Like that dude, Rashard Cruz, had like 10 threes. Matter Day had, I think they had Strawberry Son at the time. I
Hmm.
think it was Strawberry Son, and they had another big kid. He was like a freshman or sophomore. He ended up playing at Stanford. They were like really. They were. It was a badass game. It was a really good game. Like and the funny, like check this out. This is the funny thing, right? At the halftime of that championship game, right? They announced like they're gonna give awards. They give like the all tournament teams.
Hmm.
They give you some stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I ended up making the all tournament team. So at
Uh-huh.
halftime, I had to go to half court. All the players, everybody that made it from every team, and
Yeah.
they're going down the line, right? Going down the line and announcing their name. where they're committed to. So
Yeah.
you have like, hey, Rashard Cruz committed to Kentucky, Dejan
Right.
Diop declaring for the NBA draft, and so on and so on, right? Like all these
Uh-huh.
other guys committed to D1. They get to me, Lou Martinez, undecided. I was just like, I'm like looking around, like God, like these dudes can go, like they're just like they were just big time. But for us, I think Coach Bernal just did a good job of getting us out there and seeing that.
Hmm.
That now when we come back, it's like, oh, this is nothing
It's
new for
yeah.
us. We seen this already. So it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's not going to be anything new for us too. So it's just like, man, that was a good experience for us, and we ended up playing some good teams. We played.
Do you ever get a chance like to share this stuff with your players, man? Because I think
I
like,
do when they ask me when they ask.
mhm.
I'm not that guy that's just going to be like, oh
Yeah, I
man,
know you're not
like
braggadocious. Yeah.
yeah, like, no, like sometimes like man, like I hate when people bring like I don't hate when they bring it up. It
Yeah.
just it brings up bad memories because we lost.
Hey, you know what, man? I feel you. We lost in the state championship 1994. I'm an old man,
Yeah,
but we were up by three. One of their players fouls out. They bring a freshman in. The son of a gun, Marcus Kemp, hits a 3-pointer to send it into overtime. And we never got momentum back, dude. And let me tell you what's worse than that. They were our crosstown rival, dude. It'd be like Judson versus Wagner, the
oh
state
man, that's
championship game.
it's so like I mean like I try to share with the guys sometimes like when they
Yeah,
ask like, hey coach, like who's the best player, and sometimes I'll tell them and they're just like, oh shit, like that's you played against that guy, or like I'm like, yeah, like we played against him, like yeah,
yeah,
we beat them, like we just lost to them, we should have beat them, but we
yeah.
messed up on this. So and then so he did a good job of preparing us for that. So when we came to district, like dude, it was a battle. Like in our district, it was tough. Our district was tough. All those games, we ended up losing. I think the only game we lost in district was to Sam. We went 1-1 to Sam. Bro, we
Hmm.
like my senior year was the first year they opened up the St. Mary's Arena. What is it, Grihi?
Hmm.
That was the first year they opened it up. So somebody was like, "Hey, they're gonna have the regional championship game, the regionals there, right?
Hmm.
Why not? Let's get Sam and Lanier. Let's. I don't know who came up with it, but we played our
Yeah,
first district game at
that's
St.
top
Mary's.
notch, dude.
So like that was the first game played there, right? Man, they
Hmm.
came out and they were. You can tell they were still upset from last year from us, like upsetting them and beating them because they came out. I
Yeah.
think they smacked us, right? Smacked us for
Hmm.
like 20, like ran us out the gym. Like we're just like
Hmm.
ran us out the gym. So the next game we played them at ACC. The next game we ended up getting them. We popped them, so it's 1-1. We both finished. We were co-champions, co-district champions. But
Hmm.
we both knew what was going to happen,
Yeah.
right? So we ended
Y'all
up
gotta play a third time.
the third time we meet them again. So what happens, we go all the way again, meet them in the regional championship again my senior year at St. Mary's. There's a video on YouTube, like if you want to look it up, like
Check it out.
it shows like the arena. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen that arena filled that way. Like I'm
Wow.
talking about, there was no seats available. People on the, you know how they have that little circle, the stand.
Yeah.
There's people standing on the railing, like on the railing. There's no room. There's elbow room. Like there's people everywhere. There's no seats. There's no.
Bet you was loud too with all the
Oh, it was
architecture.
it was intense, bro. Like it was intense. It was a good game. I think we ended up beating them by 3. I think we beat them by 3. Beat them by 3 to
Mhm.
go to back to the state. Right. We ended up going back.
Yeah.
We weren't. We were. Um, we weren't happy the first year. Right. The first year we were just happy to get there.
Yeah.
So after that, we were like, hey, you know what? Like, we're not just happy to get there. We want to win. And the funny
Yeah.
thing is, like, this little story about this, right? So my junior year, right? My junior year,
Hmm.
Coach Bernal, before the season starts, Coach Bernal sits us down right the first day of practice before we're going to start. Sits us down, talks to us, and gives us this whole story. Hey guys, like, look, every year I buy tickets to go to the state tournament, right? So I have tickets, I have a seat. I have a seat every
Mm-hmm.
year to go to the state tournament. I go to the games, but it's never the seat that I want to be sitting in, right? That's what he's telling us. And I mean, at the time we were like, what? What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about, right? So when he
Mm-hmm.
explains it, like, the seat I want to be sitting in is the seat right there, the coaching seat. This is our junior
Yeah.
year. Coming off, coming off from a year that we went, I think like 15-15. Like we were 50,
You
like
just sent, you
500 or something,
saw
like
it.
500
Yeah.
the year before.
Yeah.
And he's telling us, hey, we're going to state this year. Like this was our junior year
Yeah.
before we even went the first. Like this is he told us like, hey, we're gonna go to state. So in our mind, we're telling everybody, hey, we're gonna go to state. We're gonna go to state. We're gonna go to state. I remember telling the teacher like, hey, man, we're gonna go to state this year. She's like, oh, I don't think so. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think so. So like, man, that makes it like it's crazy that he even believed that we could do that. Like before he even
Yeah.
told us that, we weren't even thinking about that. And we weren't even thinking of it. Right. So like our senior when we go, we won, we beat Sam. Right. So we beat Sam, we get matched up with Dallas Lincoln. We're
Mm-hmm.
watching the film. We're watching film on them, the regional championship game. Their point guard, right? His name is Brian Hopkins,
Mm-hmm.
right? Dude is can jump out the gym. He's probably like 5'11" and can
Mm-hmm.
jump out the gym. Like we're watching this tape. He gets a steal. He's on a breakaway. Guy's running with him. Guy goes to take a charge. He takes off with 2 feet just inside the paint, like at the elbow, with
Mm-hmm.
2 hands. Bam! Turn it
Shut
off.
it down.
Turn it off. We got it. We're good. We got it. We got it. And then that's not even mentioning like he had Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like God. Like I mean what we're just overmatched, right? So we come out, they think like they're just gonna roll over us. And we end up sneaking up on them. We luckily we got Chris Bosh, he got in foul trouble. We got him in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So but Brian
Oh, all
Hopkins,
this
man.
time, man. All
Huh?
this time, I thought y'all lost to Bosch the first year, and then Kendrick Perkins the second year. I didn't
No.
know y'all actually didn't run, and then y'all got Bosch, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, no. We ended
okay,
up yeah, we ended
okay.
up getting Bosh. So everybody was upset.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's upset because that was the matchup.
The
Was
matchup.
they wanted to see Dallas Lincoln against Beaumont and Kendrick Perkins against Chris Bosh. Like that was the matchup that everybody was like upset. And let me tell you, like I don't like these are things that I hear years later,
Mm-hmm.
meeting coaches, meeting coaches like at these like they start telling me stories like, man, I was there and they start telling me this stuff and I'm like, oh, what, like crazy. Like I didn't know that, I mean, at the time, but
Yeah.
we ended up popping him. We got Chris Bosh, like we popped him, like we got him, like he got in foul trouble. Brian Hopkins, fucking, he almost won the game by himself. Dude had like
Jeez.
30, bro. He was good. Like I would put him,
Yeah.
like he was good. Like he probably, I think he ended up from. I mean, I read somewhere. I think I was curious and I was like, man, I wonder what happened. He ended up going to. I think he went to SMU. He
Mm-hmm.
was playing at MCU. I think he got hurt. I think he ended up getting
Um,
hurt. But
and that was back in the day, man. When you got hurt, you were kind of done.
and look, I mean, this is all stuff that I just hear. I don't even know.
Uh-huh.
But I heard like they wanted to get him. Like he was supposed to go to Georgia Tech with Chris Bosh, and that he ended up wanting to stay at SMU. I think he had like a twin brother. Somebody told me like he had a twin brother, and they there was like a package deal or something. I don't
Yeah.
know, but he was good. he
Uh-huh.
luckily he missed a shot. He missed a
Yeah.
shot at the buzzer, and we ended up winning. And shoot, we're one game away. Like we're one
Mm-hmm.
game away. So we're there. We match up now. We beat Chris Bosh. Now we're matched up with this big old. He's a
Oh my
beast, bro.
monster.
He's like a beast. Like people don't
Yeah.
understand. People see him like they know him from what he did in the NBA. Like I was telling you, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
star in your own role. Like
Mm-hmm.
he starred in his role. Like he did what he did like in the NBA. But bro, he
Mm-hmm.
was averaging as a sophomore. If I remember correctly, as a sophomore, he was averaging 34, 34 and like 20 rebounds. Something crazy. It was
Jeez.
like 34 and 20. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Like fucking crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up playing them. They're sitting in the 2-3 zone. Bro, he's standing right in the middle of the 2-3 zone. They have another
Mm-hmm.
guy next to him that was good too. That was like 6'7", 6'8". They have another 6'5", sitting in this 2-3 zone. And what happens in the worst? We had the worst first quarter, worst
Mm-hmm.
shooting first quarter ever. I think we went one for 14 or something like that, 1 for 15 in the first quarter. I
Oh
think I
man.
scored the only 2 points
Mm-hmm.
in that quarter. So we ended up getting down. Man, we pulled it. I mean, we were able to catch up. We cut the lead. We got back. We got back into the game. I think it was maybe like a 6 point game with the minute 30 or something like that. I think
Mm-hmm.
we tried to trap like at half court. I think we tried to trap them. I remember
Mm-hmm.
this. We tried to trap them, and they tried to throw a lob to Perkins from like half court.
Mm-hmm.
The ball goes in. Like they threw a lob, but it goes in.
It's still in
So it
it.
goes from 6 to 9. They make a three. And it's just like,
Oh,
God, like it's like, oh, like that was a nail. Like
yeah.
we got us, and then that was it. I mean, we came down, and I mean, you can't do nothing about it. But that was it. So we ended up. I mean, that year, that was a great year. I mean, great year. I think
Yeah.
we were. My junior year, our record was 30-7.
Mm-hmm.
My junior year, and my senior year, we're 32-6. 32 and
Mm.
6.
It's a lot of
So
games, man.
that was. We went from a team that was 15, either 15-15 or 14-14, something like that. Missing the
Yeah.
game, missing the playoffs by one game to going to state back to back.